Hey, good afternoon, y'all. Florida Boy here. I just got my scissors jacks from Amazon today. I'm going to use these as leveling jacks on the RV. I did a little research, and these things had real good reviews. They're 7,500 pound capacity each. So there's no way I'm going to be putting more than 15,000 pounds of pressure on these things. I just can't ever see being that uneven on a surface that I would have to, apply more than, not anywhere near, 7,000 or 7,500 pounds of pressure. I'm not buying these to jack the RV up, to change a tire. I'm simply going to use these to level the coach out when I park it in a spot. Especially when I'm camping, whether I'm camping at a state park or any park for that matter. Even when I'm boondocking, you don't always get a place that's exactly level. So if you've been RVing for any time at all, you understand that it's important for the coach to be level for a lot of reasons, obvious reasons. So anyway, so I got these Amazon. I think they're pretty cool. Let's go ahead and I've already had them opened up, but I'm going to go ahead and open it up and show y'all. Pop that latch out there. Okay, there we go. I got it. So, all right. So here they are, and I'll tell you what I like about them. One of the things I like about them is when they're in this compressed, when they're not deployed, when they're all the way in the down position. They're only about, I think it's about 4.5 inches. I think I saw the dimensions on the box here somewhere. Let's see if we can find them real quick. Well, anyway, I believe it was, yeah, here we go. Okay, so when they're all the way down, I don't know if y'all can see that, they're only 4 3/8 of an inch. That's as tall as they are. So I'm not going to have any kind of clearance issues whatsoever once they're bolted in underneath the frame rails on the coach. Fully extended, they're 23 3/4 inches. Which is cool. I don't know at this point whether or not I will have to put anything underneath them. Put a couple pieces of 4x4 or whatever. I don't know until I get them jacked up. I think I remember measuring from the frame rails down to the ground. I don't remember what that number is exactly, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick, and then just place one of them underneath there, just to kind of get an idea of where I'm going to mount them up. It comes with this pretty cool little double handle. I like that because it's pretty easy to swivel that, and it also comes on with the socket on the end that swivels. But what I'll do is I'll end up getting a regular socket and putting it on the end of my electric drill, and this way I can spin them down to get them deployed once they touch the ground, and then I'll crank them with the manual arm, because no sense in doing all that cranking just to make up the distance. And like I said, once they touch, then I'll put the arm on and crank them up to where I need them. All right, so let me go out there. I'm going to measure that. I'm going to drag one of them out there and see how it's going to play out. Real quickly, I was watching the other video, and it seemed like it had the camera pointed at the floor most of the time. And so I don't know if y'all remember. I know I did an initial video on this where I kind of showed y'all everything. But anyway, here's another quick shot of everything. Here's the upper bunk. I really like it because it's very roomy. In fact, that's one of the deciding factors that I decided to go with a Class C RV as opposed to an A class or a Class A, just because there's just so much extra room up here with this bunk. And then again, she's in pretty good shape. I do have a few things to do, but it's roomy, and I like it. I like the fact that it's got the back bedroom, and got the bathroom, got the stand-up shower. So yeah, pretty happy with it. I think I'm going to be happy with it. I haven't used it yet, but we're gonna use it here in a couple of weekends. So all right, let me get outside and put that jack out, and we'll measure it up and see how it goes, and I'll be back with y'all in a minute. Peace. Okay, y'all, I'm here underneath the coach. I don't know how good this is going to come out. It's hard to say until I download it, but you can see the jack right there. I've got it. I've just got it clamped up there with a couple of vice grips, but I'm going to have to stagger them. You know, the one on the passenger side, the one on the right hand side, I can go ahead and fit that one all the way back behind the rear wheels on the frame rail, but on here on the driver's side, I'm not going to have room for that. The waste tanks are in the way. I just don't have the clearance, so I'm going to have to stagger them, which is really no big deal. I mean, you don't have them both deployed at the same time. You're trying to level the coach, so and even if I had to have them both down, which I really don't see any reason why I would, but it's not a big deal. I've got plenty of clearance, and you can see right here where you know, it's about 4.5 inches from the top or the bottom of the frame rail to the bottom of the jack. So I'm not losing any ground clearance at all. Like I said, I've got to stagger them. This one's got to go in front of the rear wheels, and the other one's got to go in the back. But it's all good. And I measure the distance from the bottom of the frame rail to the ground. It's about 18.5 inches. These things fully deployed or fully opened, I believe it's 24 inches. You know, so I shouldn't have any issues there. I mean, if this thing's at, you know, more than, you know, 5-6 inches off, then which I certainly hope I wouldn't have that much of a tilt. But if it is, simply put a, you know, a couple pieces of wood, put a piece of 4x4 or something underneath it when I let them down. So anyway, that's pretty much how it's going to be right there. You know what? I'll wind it down real quick and show you what it looks like when it's deployed. Hold on one second, and I'll do that right. Okay, so here it is in the down position. You know, so it's got plenty of travel to go up. Like I said, from the bottom of the frame rail right here, where I'm pointing with my fingers to the ground, is only about 18.5 inches. So I've got plenty of travel out of the scissor jack to make up for any kind of lean, and you know, that's it. Pretty good deal. I'm gonna through bolt these instead of just running the bolts through the bottom, because this is not a true box frame. The frame rails are not box. They're lipped. They're open on one side. They're plenty stout, but it gives me access to go ahead and through bolt these. So I'll drill them and through bolt them. I'll probably try to do that tomorrow. Get them up there permanently. And anyway, so that's it. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with them. I think it's going to work out good. Shouldn't have any problem whatsoever leveling out the coach with these scissor jacks. Okay, so that's it for now, and like I said, I'll probably bolt them in tomorrow night, and after I do that, I'll show you both of them. All right, y'all take care. Peace. Hey y'all, it's Florida Boy here. Okay, so quick update on the RV. I just wanted to show you something real quick. This storage space, that's well, I'll kind of pan out a little bit so y'all can see what I'm talking about. This is the table that folds out into a bed, and in this particular side of the bench seat here, I've kind of made some changes, and I wish I would have had taken some video or some pictures prior to let y'all know what it looked like before I made these modifications. But you know, I'll tell you what, it didn't have this storage, and I'll try to explain this real quick. If you see this AC outlet right here, but I mean AC voltage, that's where the voltage comes in from the genset. The genset sits right underneath here, and the wires come here. Well, they had that box right over here, and they also had kind of like a shelf all the way over here. I don't know if you can see that line or not, but from this area right here is all the storage that it had. It didn't have all that storage. You didn't really have any access to it. So you open this little door, and right to there where my finger was all the storage that you were going to get. So I kind of made a couple changes. I moved everything over. I cleaned up all this wiring, and I built this little border right here. And I did that to put a cooler in here. Now, not not like the cube cooler that I kind of found by accident, which I really love, by the way. This was planned out. You know, I moved everything as far forward as I could, so I could have as much space here to put a biggest cooler as I could find that would fit in that space. I measured it out, and then I found this igloo cooler. It is an igloo. It is a 100-quart cooler, and they say 5-day, but you know, that's really unrealistic. If you get 2 or 3 days out of it, you know, consider yourself lucky. I mean, you might get 3 as long as the cooler's not in direct sunlight, but this is the biggest cooler that I could find that would fit in this space and still allow me to close it up and put the seat on it. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to put it in there, and I'll show you something, and then we'll get back with y'all in just a minute. Alright, the cooler's inside, and I'm going to show you all how easy it is to get to it. Just, you know, you got to remove the cushions, and that's not a big deal. Just kind of pick them up and move them out of the way. But you can see that this fits exactly the way it was supposed to. Height, width, and depth of this cooler is absolutely perfect for this. Like I said, I measured out the distance and found the biggest one that I could fit in there. So I like that it has this little feature that you can kind of pop this up on. There we go, pop that up, and if you want to store stuff, you know, close to that side, stuff that you're going to use, you know, more frequently, then all you have to do is just kind of pop that up. But something else I did was I went ahead and took the hinges off of it. So if you want to, all you have to do is just lift the cooler up, and you have total access to anything you want in there. So, you know, that worked out real good. Like I said, this was intentional. I cleaned up that whole area. It was really a total waste of space. You had very little space in there. So now everything fits real good. Like I said, this fits perfectly flush like it's supposed to. There we go. And that's a pretty cool deal right there. This way, like I said, I don't have to, you know, if I'm boondocking, you know, burn the propane for the refrigerator. You know, not that I'm going to do all that much boondocking. I'll probably do, I don't know, maybe 25 or 30% of the camping that I do will be boondocking. You know, the rest of the time I'll be at RV parks and state parks and things like that, and the majority of those will have hookups. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that real quick. That worked out good. I just couldn't believe the waste of space that they had there. I had to move a few things out of the way, and like I said, just do some good measurements to make sure that I got the biggest cooler that I could find that would fit in there. So I'm real happy with that, and we'll continue to play around, do a few things here. I need to install those scissors jacks, and that won't take very long. And I haven't even had a chance to look at the gen set. I got it up on my bench, pulled the cover off, but I haven't really had time to play with that at all. This was something that was relatively quick, so I wanted to go ahead and knock that project out. Alright, y'all, I hope everyone's doing good, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.